How's everyone doing? So I have finished my knitting for today, which was for Sock Madness. So I finished my socks, and I can't find a particular crochet hook that I usually use. So I am giving drop spindling a second chance. My yarn is extremely slubby, but at least I can say I'm giving it a second try. So it's better than just saying I gave up. But yeah, my yarn is very slubby. I don't remember what I'm using, but I believe it's a 22 micron fiber. And I got it when I was at Fiber Forge a couple years ago. Hey, Vienna. I'm actually horrible at drop spindling, and I can't seem to get my thickness even, but I'm trying, so that's better than nothing. And it seems like I need to spin with my right hand and draft with my left, and I'm not left-handed. So it's a little interesting in that regards. But no, I'm not very good at it, but it's also my first time really drop spindling. So at least I'm trying again. Ooh. But yeah, I'm not very good at it. Like, look how slubby that is. And my first attempt, way back when, this is my second attempt. This was how it turned out. I don't even know what to call this. It just looks so sad. I don't know. You'd probably be pretty good at it. I'm sure you'd be fine. But yeah, this is the braid. I don't know what to do with my yarn when I'm not using it. This is the braid. I do love the color. And I probably should do the whole. So I discovered that it's best to undo the braid and then rip them in half or split them so that you have like long strips, but not like chunk. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe, or like a horsetail. But yeah, this is the braid undone. And then, from my understanding, people break it apart like such before they start spinning. So I'm giving it a more proper try after a little more research. So there's one split. Let's split the one split into a split. I think that's a thin enough split, yeah? I don't think I need to split it again, do you think? Yeah, I can draft with this. And I'll just wrap this split up and put it off to the side. I'll wrap this split up and put it off to the side. So yeah, I think a split like this thick will allow me some good drafting, I think. Or who knows, I will figure that out. And if I have to, I will resplit the splits. Okay, so now I'm splitting the half and half. And then I believe I split the split halves in half. But I'm having a feeling I might need to split it some more. And get like thin ones like this. Like thinner. Now, where did your half go? There you are. Actually, maybe not. Doesn't seem to want to unsplit a second time. There we go. Okay. Split. This is all new, so this is the first time I'm doing this, so thanks for watching me try something new and make a giant mess of my room. I already have a crocheted sweater lying on the floor that I need to put together. And now I have a whole bunch of split fiber all over the place. But yeah. Okay, so those two I think are actually more accurately thin. These two I need to split again. Yeah, that's a much better thickness, I think. Have to have the possible whips everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, I have a blanket in a bag up here that's crocheted. I have a pair of socks downstairs, the Stardew Valley socks. What else do I have on the go? I have what I call like a t-shirt yarn, but I've made it out of Chris's old uniforms that he's not using for a rug. So that is on the go and in a laundry basket. And then the shawl, yeah, the shawl, thank you. And then I have a cardigan on the go. I have my sweater that I can't find my 2.25 needles for on the go. What else do I have on the go? I think that's it, really, for right now, for what's on the go. But yeah. Okay, so hopefully. Okay, that one's split thin enough, I think. Oh yeah, the maxi dress. Thank you. Thank you. I forgot about that one. Oh, and my mom's placemats. I have my mom's placemats on the go too. So those are crocheted. Wow, I have a lot of projects on the go, and yet here I am deciding to do drop spindling. It's probably because I've been watching a bunch of Tashi, Stitches, and Starlight, and she does spinning. And then I've also been watching a lot of Table 10, and they've gotten into spinning. So maybe that's kind of where I've got this like, okay, you know what? I'll try it again. And my friend Jen has just gotten a drop spindle as well, and we were supposed to have a girls' night where we tried drop spindling with each other. But that did not happen. So she got sick. So maybe that's kind of why I'm in the mood to give drop spindling another go. Is because I've been watching a lot of people doing drop spindling lately. But yeah, we'll see what comes of this. But the whole ripping thing, I did not know you had to do beforehand. I thought you just draft from the thick braid. Ooh, did that make life so much harder? Like, thank goodness I only used a small bit and I didn't try like a ginormous piece. But since I've already split all this, I guess this will be my ginormous piece. Considering I've done this now. But yeah, who knows? Um, One day at a time, right? Learn something new, try something new. Um, Nothing comes easy, nothing comes perfect the first time you do it. And this is definitely one of those occasions where it is not coming out perfect. This is going to be a very slubby, probably one ply. I don't know if I can ply these together because it's so slubby. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I have a bunch of rolls sitting in my lap, like that are from the ripping. So I'm just gonna pick one. And trying to figure out what to do with my drafting hand is always a challenge. So I know some people drape it over so that it stays out of the way when they're drafting. So we'll see if that works for me. I feel very weird. But yeah, I got my drop spindle and this fiber at Fiber Forge in Hamilton in November of last year. Okay, so ripping it allows it a little more control. So that's good because there's not all that extra fiber I'm fighting with. And someone told me that when you do this, you want to make sure that you're twisting the same way because you don't want to undo your twist in the rest of the. So I'm hoping that I'm doing this correctly. I have no idea. I'm just assuming I'm always twisting right, but who knows what is the correct spin. So yeah, there's another slub. I don't think I spinned this the right way, unfortunately. So let's see, I'm always gonna flick this way and see if that helps me with consistency. But yeah, I'm getting a shoulder workout from this because of like holding my arm up. Who knows, if I get the hang of this, maybe I'll actually do the spin de fleece, which is basically during the whole entire Tour de Tour de France competition, spinners will spin fiber while they're cycling. Okay, so I'm getting a little more consistent. That's good. So the ripping seems to be helping with that because the extra material just isn't there to get caught. Um, so from my understanding, this is a 40-gram spindle. So that's what it's capable of holding. Oh, I just broke my thing apart. Twist it back together, spindle. Thank you. So I think I'm only able to do 40 grand, kind of like bobbins, essentially, is what they are. Oh, my spin came undone. That's no bueno. Spin back. Get tight again. So yeah, it would be nice if I could have like a full 50. Someone correct me if I'm wrong about whatever weight it says on your spindle is how much you're able to spin on at one time. Like Again, I am brand new at this. I don't actually know. And some of my spins are tight, some of them aren't. So I don't know if that's because of the amount of material in the spin. But yeah, giving it a go. I kind of feel like a horse just being born or sheep being just born and kind of just fumbling about. But yeah, I'll definitely take any tips anyone has. I've only been able to understand so much on YouTube for it, and I feel like drafting shouldn't be this hard. Like, I feel like I'm essentially pulling tight enough to open up a bag of chips, or tighter. And I don't feel like that's right. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard, I would think, to properly pull it apart. I don't remember what the guy's name is for who I bought the spindle from, but he makes his all by hand. And he has some really nice looking stuff. Ooh. Oh no! Don't catch the tail. Uh-oh. Okay, over the wrist. There we go. I think that's better. There are some people that can just do this like it's nothing. They just flick and then go to town for like a good 5 minutes, then flick and just go to town. But I definitely have to do the park method, which is when you stop it, deal with your spin, and then respin again. I can't just keep drafting and trusting that the thing's going to spin properly. So that was one roll. Still not great in consistency. I don't know if it's supposed to be thinner. I would probably like it thinner, especially if I decide I'm going to apply it. But again, first time trying something new. I have no idea what I will make with this yarn because I'm not really big on slubby yarn. Yeah, I kind of wish I remembered which sheep this was made from, but I don't. It has a pretty long staple length though, so it's got to be pretty hardy breed, I would think, that I'm using. Who knows, maybe I'll make a cowl out of this or something, because it's going to be some pretty thick yarn. Yeah, someone told me once that they find this so relaxing doing drop spindling that they do it in front of the TV. I think I would lose my mind trying to watch TV and do this at the same time because I'm finding it difficult to concentrate. And again, I am not left-handed, so trying to draft with my left hand feels very odd, but I can't spin with my left hand either. So whichever is the lesser evil of the two is the one that I'm doing. Mm. Yeah. There's definitely moments where I rip too much and it ends up like super, super thin. I don't think that's ideal. I don't want it that thin. Oh, all my spin just came out. Spin you back. Yeah, look at that slub. There is no symmetry there. No consistency. And I'm like man gripping it, where a lot of people just use their fingers and they look like it's so effortless. And it's like sprinkling salt, like, and then here I am like, ugh. Maybe I'd be better off with an electric spinner. But those are, they can be a pretty expensive investment though. So, but I do like the idea of making your own yarn. There's something kind of romantic about it. Nope. Don't catch my tail. Look at that spin. You're like, wee. Wee. I'm sure there's an actual term for that, but I have no idea what that term is for that type of like when your spins like that. But I'm sure there is a term for it. So I'm definitely doing better than my absolute first time ever since figuring out the whole like rip thing first. So I will say that's good. So note to self for any beginner drop spindlers or spinners in general, split your yarn, your fiber before you start spinning. It makes it significantly easier to use than using it straight from the giant braid. Now, I'm sure there is an optimal sort of spin tension, but I have no idea what that optimal spin tension is. So I'm just gonna spin until it looks like it's a tight spin. And then be like, all right, bank that into the drop spindle. But again, I am a complete beginner. So do not completely trust what I'm saying. So how have you been, Vienna? How are things? Ooh. I love how this is like a purple, dark teal, and gray. Like it's not a pure white base. It's almost like a light gray, dark cream. So it's really nice that way. Yeah, this is going much better than my very first attempt at this. But still not great at consistency. It's a little better, still extremely slubby. Okay, I'm making it work. Well, I guess I can split this one a little more. Seems to be wanting to split. Okay, that's cool. You do you, yarn. You do you. I'm always afraid I'm going to get the tail caught in it. Maybe I'm just not drafting far enough. Because with it having long staples, maybe I just need to draft further away to get it more consistent or make it more easier for pulling. Oh, pulled a little too much. That's the one thing I need to work on is making sure I don't split the yarn that I'm actually trying to draft. Because that would be bad. Well, it makes it so that there's like weird bumps in it because of how I'm trying to reconnect it. And reconnecting it causes it to have a bubble of sorts. Ooh. Yep, respin back in there, yep. There we go. Okay, sort of getting this. Not very well, but I'm getting it a little bit. I'll finish up this strip and then I gotta get ready to head to the store. I gotta finish up my tax stuff today. Got a bunch of tax stuff I gotta finish. Because my accountant has pointed out that since I do work from home for several things, I can account for some of my home bills as business bills, which makes sense if I'm doing business at home. It is technically business. Okay, well, this one was a little more consistent. I can see how this can kind of get addictive. Like, I kind of want to just keep going. But I'm going to park it. And I'm probably parking it completely wrong because I'm just spinning it around the spindle part and hoping it stays. But yeah, there's my go at spinning. It still looks very slubby, but not as slubby as this. Like, it's a little more consistent. A little. But this is super slubby. At least this has some consistency. Some. But hey, I'm learning. Yeah, so again, here's what the braid looks like. It has this beautiful purple teal in it. And then a dark gray cream. And it's just kind of not speckled, but like spot dyed. But yeah. Okay. I'm going to go before I start another thing because this seems to be the thing that I'm enjoying now. Don't know why. Just in the last half an hour, really started to get into this. Amazing how one simple technique on how to properly start by splitting your fiber makes such a big difference. So thank you, Tashi, Rachel, and Renee for sharing those snippets in your podcast. So I was able to enjoy this process better. Who would have thought? But yes, thank you for joining me. And I hope you all have a fabulous day. Oh, I found a little small piece that somehow disappeared somewhere. That's okay. I'll just add it into one of my random balls that I have of split yarn. But yeah, if I wanted to make it thinner, I probably could split them thinner. Alrighty. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.